Ever since Sonic Frontiers' release, I've been jamming to the soundtrack and really trying to understand its layers, especially with 3-1's Escape the Loop. This one in particular makes me think deeply about not just the game, but life itself. Now, just starting with the instrumental itself, it gives me a sense of desperation and hopelessness, but also feelings of optimism and hope. This song mainly focuses on the aspect of loops and trying to break out of it. Within the context of the game, at this point we're on Chaos Island. We're starting to finally piece together that something with immense power is what took out the Ancients, and that it's not the only time this has happened. So taking that into account, and the fact that the Ancients' hopes and desires are uploaded into cyberspace, we can connect that the song is them trying to break out of the loop of destruction. This is where the feeling of desperation comes in. Their desperation to try to defend this new home from their ancient threat and to avoid another cataclysm, but seemingly failing at every turn. This would conveniently lead into the feeling of hopelessness from them. This vast, giant threat is seemingly unstoppable, and no matter what they try to attempt, it's not working. It just feels hopeless. Now as for I always land on Sonic and his friends. As we see through the game, they're constantly looking for a way out of cyberspace, as well as Sonic. But Sonic is the only one that can do so, which is also where I loop around and think of he wants to break the cycle, and not only get his friends out, but to also put an end to this threat and help the Coco move on. Oh, also the Coco too! They're constantly in a cycle, a loop they can't escape from, and they don't even know. That's why they're still here. It's only when Sonic and his friends finally help them finish their missions is when they finally get to pass on, escaping the loop, breaking the cycle. He's bringing hope and optimism. When everyone is at their lowest, he encourages them to look inwards and be able to get back on their feet and do something new, something to change the cycle. Oh my god! And that can also be a connection to how Sonic showed the meaning of love, care, compassion, and the value of friendship and family, and the will to do whatever it takes to save that, to Sage. The will to change and the meaning of sacrifice. Having a soul, that's what makes her change. The want to have a family and care, to protect her father. That's what gets her to take action in the end and save everyone. She broke her cycle of programming and was able to feel and want and etc. This doesn't even just end at her. Eggman was also changed by her. She broke his cycle of repeating. She helped him change and accept her and accept that he wanted a daughter, even if it didn't exactly work out in the end. Well, except, you know. Now, where does the life itself part come in, you ask? Well, there's always something that people say and cite constantly, at least in my general circle, especially when it comes to conflicts and situations. History will always repeat itself. This song makes me think about that, and how we constantly live. Are we just bound to repeat our mistakes? Can we really break the cycle? Is there a way to escape this loop? At least for me, it's the type of song that can really put me in deep thought and flash different periods of my life before my eyes. Mistakes, good moments, bad, etc. Not just that, but just things happening in the world. It sort of just leaves me feeling hopeless and uneasy, knowing that we probably can't do much to change a certain outcome in a situation. That it's almost inevitable. That we're just slowly pushing it back, but we can't stop it. But the song also has like a small sliver of hope, where it just makes you feel like there's this just small piece of wiggle room where we can maybe find a path. Some sort of hope that we can finally do something different and pull ourselves out of it. Even if it is just getting smaller and smaller each day. But hey, that's just me with silly little ramblings and over-analysis. That probably doesn't even make sense in the end. So yeah, this thing, thanks for watching, and hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll try my best to keep uploading. But yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you later. Adios.